welcome back. This is Defender Chassis. This is the new shop project, day 105, video number 11. And what I was going to start out and show you here today was this is the front of the building where we have the spare water line inlet, and I was going to plug that off. Unfortunately, I ran into a little bit of a problem. What I was going to use was one of these expandable pipe plugs, but unfortunately it's not the right size and it won't expand. What I was going to do was to smear that hole up with this asphalt coating, put this in, expand it until it tightened up, and then paint the outside of it with more of that asphalt coating. But obviously it's not going to work. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to measure that hole a little closer, and I'm going to make a round wooden plug with a tapered edge, and we'll come back and tap that in, and then coat the outside of it with the asphalt coating. After I got the content you're watching recorded, I decided I had enough time to go ahead and deal with this this plug on this open hole. So I ran back into town, about a 20-minute drive, and fabricated a wooden plug out of some plywood, the same type of plug that I did on the sewer line. So what we're going to do is take some of that asphalt coating and get around this hole where this plug is going to seal. Alright, and then take this plug, and you can see it's got a taper on it, and insert it in that hole. Wedge it in there real good, and then coat over top of it. So, if we ever need this line in the future, we can just dig down to it, knock it out from the back side, and have it available. This is the sewer line, and what we've done, and this is a piece of 4-inch Schedule 40 going through the 6-inch hole that the contractor provided to me. And what you see around that is some spray foam, and the idea there is just to stabilize that pipe so that it's not loose while they do the backfilling. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover that line up. Now, I have plugged the end of that not with a regular PVC pipe cap, but with a round piece of plywood that I tapered the edge, just like I'm thinking about doing here, and tap that into the pipe. It fits nice and snug, and then duct taped it, and not that would even hurt anything for any dirt or anything to get in that line. I mean, as you know, it's just a sewer line, but just to keep from fouling that up. And we'll have to come back later when we make the connection to the sewer. The reason we're not doing that now is that once we make that connection, basically the water bill doubles, because they assume all the fresh water you're taking in is going through the sewer. So right now I'm on a special deal that since I don't have a sewer tap, since the house was torn down, that I'm not actually paying for sewer. So once we get the bathroom and everything installed on the inside, the very last thing we'll do is come out here and dig this up, find the sewer line that runs out of here from the house, and tie into that. But let me go and show you what we did on the inside with this, so we get vertical up through the floor. I'll move the camera. I'll be right back with you. All right, so here's the other side of the sewer line, and move you down here a little bit, and you can see where we come in the wall with that spray foam. Like I said, the idea with the spray foam is just to stabilize that so that this line doesn't want to go up or down. And what we've done is I've taken some plywood and created a bracket, and we've tap conned this bracket to the wall. These are a couple saddles that just fit this line. I've got some brackets back here with a little shoulder in the back so that we've got a couple of tie straps. And what that's doing is keeping this pipe from moving this way and this way. So we've got it tied in down there from moving up and down, and we've got it moved this way with the bracket. So this will stay in place until the floor is poured, and probably until we actually tie into this. Now I cut it a little bit long. I had intended on being right about here, but somewhere along the lines I mismeasured there. But anyway, we've got the top of this thing plugged off same way with a wooden cap and duct tape so that nothing can get in this line until we get this this floor poured in a roof on this building. So hey, one other thing I want to talk to you about. Let me gather some material and go sit down and show you the only other thing that's been done since the last update. Okay, so the last thing I want to tell you about, I had intended on trying to get the foundation, the outside, at least the outside of the foundation, painted before the backfill. And if that happens first thing in the morning, I'm not gonna get this thing painted. But the plan was to Chuck, lay down. Come on, go lay down. The plan was to use this product, Seal Krete, to seal the concrete, and then do one coat of Sherwin-Williams A100 exterior paint. And time just didn't allow this to happen the way I had intended. One thing is this product, and I'm not ready to make the call as to whether I would use this again or not, but I bought 2 gallons of it, which was about 50 bucks worth, intending to do the whole foundation. But if you read the instructions, what it tells you to do is actually to do 2 coats, and it'll cover anywhere from 50 to 300 square feet per coat. Now that's a pretty wide range, and I ended up being closer to the 50 square feet than I did the 300. And I got everything to the right of the man door on the front of the garage, and almost the whole side down that faces the road. I got all that coated. And why I'm kind of disgusted was, you know, you do your homework and you look at this stuff and you make a plan, and you plan on having maybe somebody help you, and then that falls through, and then you do things like, it tells you that you can apply this stuff. It's kind of like milk. It kind of has the consistency of milk. It's not as runny as water, but it's still pretty fluid. And what I tried initially was to put it on with a garden sprayer. Now my garden sprayer is old, and maybe that's where I've got a problem, but it sprays water just fine. I mean, a nice spray, a nice pattern, but when I run this stuff through it, it just dribbles. And so I wasn't getting a real good coverage, and it was hard to get everything coated without putting so much of this on that it just ran off of the surface. So one thing it says to do actually is to back roll the surface. Now I hadn't intended on doing that initially because the surface is, as you're aware, a brick look. And but I did have some 3/4 nap rollers, which is about the thickest that I can find in my area. And I went ahead and grabbed one of those and poured the other gallon. I bought 2 gallons of this. I had 1 gallon in the sprayer. I poured the other gallon in a bucket and started back rolling this. But the problem was, even with a 3/4 inch nap roller, that I couldn't get into where the mortar joints were at without just slopping so much of this stuff on that it was just ridiculous, and it was running into this stuff, a gallon is $20-some. So it just kind of really disgusted me, and I don't think I'm going to buy any more. I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and paint that foundation when we get a chance with that A100 Sherwin-Williams, and we'll see what it looks like, and maybe we'll see a difference between where I used Seal Krete and where I didn't. But maybe some of you guys have got some different, if you use this stuff, maybe you've got some different views. If you want to, let me know in the comments. Let me know maybe where I screwed up, or what maybe my expectations were unrealistic. But I think I could have just taken a cup of this stuff and threw it on the wall and achieved about as good a results as I did, following the instructions and following, what other people told me to do with this product that, you know, thought it was such a great deal. But, you know, we'll find out here, you know, once this is all painted and done, and we'll take a look at it and we'll see, you know, maybe the part that I use this on is going to look great, but that's yet to be determined. So anyway, if you have any comments on what I've talked about here, you know where to put them here down below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're digging the series. And you know, any constructive comments, let me know, and I'll see you on the next update. Thanks for watching.